The phone slipped from my hand, clattering onto the hardwood floor like a gunshot in the silence of our living room. Her words burned into my retinas. A queen knows when to exit a table when respect is no longer being served. The post stared back at me from her public Instagram, time-stamped an hour ago, the caption beneath a photo of her in that emerald dress I'd bought her for our 5th anniversary. She was smiling, but her eyes, those eyes I'd memorized over a decade, held a sharpness I didn't recognize. My chest tightened, a fist squeezing my lungs. Who was she talking about? And why did it feel like she'd just carved my heart out with a dull knife? The house was too quiet. The kids were at my mother's, and I'd come home early from the office, hoping to surprise her with takeout from that Thai place she loved. The bag sat untouched on the counter, the smell of lemongrass souring in the air. I scrolled through her post again, my thumb trembling. The comments were a blur of fire emojis and "Yes, queen" from her friends, but one stood out. "You deserve better, girl. Walk away." My stomach churned. Better than what? Than me? I'd noticed the signs for months but buried them under excuses. The late nights at her graphic design firm. Her phone angled just out of my sight when she texted. The way her laugh felt rehearsed when I asked about her day. "Just work stress," she'd say, her voice soft but distant, like a radio signal fading. I believed her because I wanted to. Because loving her was the only truth I'd ever known. The front door clicked open and my heart lurched. "Evan." Lila's voice floated in, light but cautious, like she was testing the air. I stood frozen in the kitchen, the phone still glowing in my hand. Her heels tapped against the floor, each step a countdown to something I wasn't ready to face. "Hey, you're home early," she said, stepping into the light. That dress. The one from the photo. It hugged her curves, the emerald fabric catching the dim glow of the chandelier. She looked like a painting, beautiful, untouchable. But her smile faltered when she saw my face. "What's wrong?" I held up the phone, my voice barely a whisper. "What's this, Lila?" Her eyes flicked to the screen, and for a split second, I saw it. Panic, raw and unguarded, before she masked it with a laugh. "Oh, that? Just a silly post. You know how I get with my captions." She reached for the takeout bag, busying herself with the containers, but her hands shook slightly. "Don't," I said, sharper than I meant. "Don't lie to me. Not now." The words tasted like ash. I wanted her to laugh again, to call me paranoid, to pull me into her arms and make the world make sense again. But she didn't. She just stood there, her lips parting like she was searching for a script she hadn't memorized. "Evan, it's not what you think," she said finally, her voice low, almost pleading. "Can we just talk?" "Then talk." My throat burned. "Who's not respecting you? Who's this queen walking away from?" She set the takeout container down, her fingers lingering on the edge like it was an anchor. "It's not about you," she said, but her eyes wouldn't meet mine. "It's complicated." Complicated. I stepped closer, the space between us electric with unspoken truths. 10 years, Lila. 2 kids. A mortgage. A life. And you're out here posting cryptic shit like I'm some stranger you're done with. Tell me what's going on. Her silence was louder than any confession. The kitchen clock ticked, each second a hammer against my skull. I thought of the late-night texts, the client meetings that ran past midnight, the way she'd started locking her phone. Red flags I'd painted over with trust. "Evan, I didn't mean for this to happen," she whispered, her voice cracking. "It just did." My knees buckled, but I caught myself on the counter. "What did?" I asked, though I already knew. The truth was a shadow creeping across the room, cold and inevitable. "His name is Marcus," she said, and my world tilted. "He's a client." It started as nothing, coffee, work talk. But then she trailed off, tears pooling in her eyes. "He saw me, Evan. Really saw me. Not the mom, not the wife, just me." I wanted to scream, to shake her, to demand how she could throw us away for someone who saw her. But all I could manage was, "And I didn't?" She flinched, like my words were a slap. "You did. You do. But it's different. You're safe. Predictable." She stopped, but the word hung between us. Exciting. The room spun. I saw us in fragments. Our first date at that dive bar, her laugh echoing over cheap beer. The way she clung to me when our daughter was born. The nights we'd stayed up talking about dreams we'd long since buried. Had it all been a lie? How long? I asked, my voice hollow. 6 months, she admitted, and the number was a blade. Half a year of secrets, of her slipping away while I slept beside her, oblivious. I turned away, staring at the fridge covered in our kids' drawings, the grocery list in her handwriting. Do you love him? She didn't answer right away, and that was answer enough. I don't know, she said finally. I love you, Evan. I do. But I need to figure out who I am outside of us. The words were a death knell, but they weren't the end. Not yet. I grabbed my keys, my hands shaking so badly I could barely hold them. I'm going for a drive, I said, because staying would break me. Evan, wait, she called, but I was already out the door, the night air biting my skin. I drove aimlessly, the city lights blurring through tears I hadn't realized were falling. My phone buzzed, her name on the screen, but I ignored it. Then another notification, a new Instagram post. Against my better judgment, I pulled over and opened it. It was a photo of our wedding day, her in white, me grinning like I'd won the lottery. The caption read, "Sometimes you don't know what you have until you're about to lose it." My heart stopped. Was this regret? A plea? Or just another game? I sat there, engine idling, the weight of 10 years pressing against the truth of 6 months. I could go back, fight for her, demand answers. Or I could let her go, let her find whatever she thought she was missing. The road stretched ahead, dark and endless, and for the first time in a decade, I didn't know where it led.